All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Palantir today. And for those of you who don't know what Palantir is, it's a data analytics and artificial intelligence company that specializes in big data solutions for government agencies and commercial enterprises. And if you ask most investors, they would see the stock as a long-term AI and big data. For most of you know, the AI is getting pretty big. Of course, we have other contributors like NVIDIA coming out with chips and things like that. So this is just another one of those tech stocks. But based on my analysis here, we're kind of at a point to where it's like, should we buy Palantir? Or should we hold Palantir? Should we sell? So today, hopefully, I can kind of clarify some things up. So if we talk about the stock today, it's only up about 0.5%. It looks like, we had a little bit of a jump and it went down back up. So if you ask me, it traded pretty sideways today. So to actually look at the analysis here, this is what I've kind of drawn up for you guys. And to me, this is going to be a bullish wedge. Let me see if I can get my brush out here and kind of show you what I'm thinking with this, or highlighter. So we kind of start from here. We have this big jump up. We've got a nice steady come back down, up, down. So I'm thinking we go here, here, and then up. That's going to be my prediction. If we don't see it right here, then we might see it on this jump up here. But why I'm talking about this today and what we should do going on from here is because we've got some pretty key points to see here. As you can see, we've got some pretty strong support levels here. I don't know, we've touched them so many times. Of course, we went under a little bit here, but it came back up. It looks like today we did touch it as well, and then we kind of traded sideways. Now this could potentially go up to here, and this would be essentially where this was and come down. We could see a breakout to the upside or potentially to the downside. So why I'm kind of showing you this stock now is because we're getting pretty close to finding that upside or the downside. And like I said, we've had a very strong support level here. And I like to use the EMA here to kind of track how the stock's doing. Of course, if the EMA is above the lines, then it's going to continue to go down. But as you can see here, the EMA is kind of above the candlesticks, and so it's gone up. And that looks like we're kind of facing a point right here to where we're going to see what the stock is doing. So this is kind of my prediction. I shouldn't even say, I guess it is a prediction of what the stock is doing, but really we're kind of closing in on this wedge here to see if we're going to make a upside move to potentially, like, it would be right here. We're looking for another support level, or this downside here, in which honestly we've got a little bit of liquidity here, so it might be like right there. Of course we got one here as well, but this is what I would be looking at based on what the stock does. Now, of course, I would be trading options. So what we're going to be looking for is a breakup, potentially a touch, and then back up. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work like that, so you kind of have to line it up with your goals and make sure you have all those confirmations that you need. So I'm going to look into Palantir's earnings a little bit here just to kind of show you their growth and basically to tell you that it is a growing company and it's doing just fine. So here's kind of their earnings report all throughout from February 2023 to May 25th, in which you can see they have improved, and most of these have stayed the same, 0.8, 0.8. They only went up one, but here's kind of where we had a really big jump. And if we look back to when that area was, February 3rd, it was about right there is when we got that really jump in that earnings report. And we saw the stock really go up, reaching a new high of 124, and then it kind of cooled down a little bit. So if we're kind of looking at a little bit of the bigger picture here, like I said, this is going to be that big support line that I drew right about here, and you kind of can see that's where we're at right now. So like I said, if we're going to go up, we're going to be looking at these levels here. If we go down, we're going to be looking at these levels where the extra support is at. And then another thing I always like to do in these videos is just kind of show the fear and greed index and what is really driving the market right now. So you see we're in extreme fear. Last week we were up a little bit, or the previous close, which would have been Friday. We were up a little bit in the last week 30, which we would have been up in the fear. And we saw that because Trump really kind of laid low on the tariffs. You kind of saw a little bit of the stability in the markets, but then again, this week we're hit with tariffs again, in which Trump really hasn't released any tariffs as of today, Tuesday, April 1st. But tomorrow we're going to see what Trump is actually imposing on those tariffs. So that's kind of why I'm putting this video out, because based on what he says is based on how you can play this stock here. And really, I think that's really pretty much going to be it for me today. I kind of explained what I think this stock is going to do, and how to play this stock based on the upcoming events. Like I said, I'm going to be watching this pretty close, and honestly only trade if you have all your confirmations that you need. Otherwise, you're just gambling money and not making very smart moves with your money. But yeah, this is going to be my analysis on Palantir. And like I said, we're about a month away from our next earnings date. So definitely be on the lookout for this stock, especially since we have, like I said, tariffs coming in tomorrow from Trump. It's going to play a pretty big role on this stock today. So